Before you can get any sort of sponsors for your podcast, you need to have an idea of what you're going to talk about on your podcast. Now, if you don't know what you're really going to talk about or who your target audience is, then you're not going to be able to really sell anything to anybody. You need to have some sort of focus or niche. So just pick something that you're knowledgeable in, something that you're passionate about, something that you want to learn more about. If you want to learn more about that, check out the video up here where we talk all about how to start a podcast. Now, once you've decided on what your podcast is going to be about, you're really going to need a plan for how you're going to get people to listen to it. Just because you make a great podcast doesn't mean people are just going to find it on their own. So for the first few months of launching your podcast, you're going to want to be sharing episodes on social media, sharing it in your email newsletter, talking about it on other podcasts. Once you have some traction and you're getting some good numbers and good reviews, then you'll start to build up some momentum and you'll start to get more downloads without having to really promote. Because people will be finding it on their own on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. Once you have enough listeners, which for us was about 10 to 15,000 per episode, then you can start looking for sponsors. Now, before you start looking for sponsors, you want to prepare an outline of what you're going to say in your pitch when you approach them. This should include what your podcast is about, your audience demographics, some of your favorite episodes, your download numbers, and how much it would cost to sponsor one of your episodes. You don't want to waste a ton of time back and forth emailing with people if you don't have enough information ready to go. So have a document ready that you can pull up at any time and send to potential sponsors. Next, you're going to want to look for brands that would be a good fit for your audience. So if your podcast is about marketing, then you might want to look for a sponsor that's also in the marketing space. That way they know they're getting in front of the right audience. This is going to be a lot easier said than done. So don't expect to get tons of sponsors right away. It takes a lot of persistence and a lot of outreach to really get the ball rolling. Now, once you find a brand that you think would be a good fit, you're going to want to reach out to them and see if they're interested in sponsoring your podcast. The best way to do this is by finding the email address of someone who works in marketing at that company. Don't use generic emails like info@company.com or sales@company.com. You want to try to find the person whose job it is to find marketing opportunities. So find their email address on LinkedIn, on their website, however you can find it. When you reach out to these brands, you want to keep it simple and to the point. Tell them who you are, what your podcast is about, why you think they should sponsor your podcast, and then give them a call to action. Also, it's very important to mention how you would tailor the ad read to them. For example, you could say something like, "We'd love to work with you on a custom ad read that promotes your products or services." This shows that you're flexible and willing to work with them to create something that meets their needs. When you reach out to these brands, you want to make sure that you're only reaching out to about 3 to 5 brands at a time. This allows you to focus on building relationships and tailoring each pitch to the specific brand. If you reach out to too many brands at once, you're going to be spread too thin and your pitches are going to suffer. When you start to get some bites from brands, you're going to want to put together a media kit. A media kit is basically a one-page document that includes information about your podcast, such as your target audience, your download numbers, and some of your favorite episodes. It also includes information about how much it would cost to sponsor your podcast. When putting together your media kit, make sure that it's easy to read and visually appealing. You can also include a link to a website where brands can learn more about your podcast. When negotiating with sponsors, you want to make sure that you're getting paid what you're worth. So, research the market and know what other podcasts in your space are charging. Then, make sure that you're asking for at least that amount. It's also important to be flexible and willing to negotiate. If a brand is interested in sponsoring your podcast, but they're not sure about the price you're asking for, be willing to come down a little bit. Also, keep in mind that sponsors may ask for certain deliverables, such as a social media post or an email blast. Be clear about what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Now, you don't want to forget about the legalities of all this. So make sure that you're including a liability waiver in your contracts with sponsors. This is a legal document that protects you in case something goes wrong. For example, if a sponsor's product causes a listener to file a lawsuit, the liability waiver will protect you. Now, I know I just threw a lot of information at you, so let me break it down step by step. Step 1. Identify your niche. What is your podcast going to be about? Step 2. Launch your podcast and start promoting it. Start building up some momentum and downloads. Step 3. Reach out to potential sponsors and get the ball rolling. Step 4. Negotiate contracts and get paid. As I mentioned earlier, it takes a lot of time and effort to build up enough momentum to get sponsors. So don't expect to get rich quick. But if you're willing to put in the work, it can be extremely rewarding. One of the things that helped us get sponsors early on was our website. We created a website where brands could learn more about our podcast and buy ad space. This gave us a central hub where we could display our media kit, our rates, and our availability. It also made it easy for brands to buy ad space. They could simply visit our website, choose a package, and then pay online. We used Squarespace to build our website. It was super easy and took us less than an hour to put it together. So now I'm going to answer some of the most common questions we get about affiliate sponsorship. First, how much do sponsors pay? This can vary widely depending on the size of your audience and the niche of your podcast. On average, we've been paid anywhere from $100 to $1,000 per episode. Second, how long does it take to get sponsors? For us, it took about 6 months to start getting sponsors. But again, this can vary depending on the size of your audience and the niche of your podcast. Third, how much should I charge? This is really up to you and your negotiation skills. But remember to research the market and know what other podcasts in your space are charging. Fourth, what if a sponsor wants something that I'm not comfortable with? If a sponsor wants something that you're not comfortable with, be honest and upfront with them. Let them know that you're not willing to do what they're asking and see if they're still interested in sponsoring your podcast. Fifth, how do I get paid? Sponsors typically pay via PayPal or bank transfer. Make sure to get paid what you're owed and to keep track of your income. And finally, where can I find more information? There are tons of great resources out there on how to get sponsors for your podcast. I recommend checking out the websites and blogs of other successful podcasters. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Now, please leave a comment below and let me know if you have any questions. Hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more great videos just like this one.